Rocket League, a game that takes time and practice, blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of patience, because every match, for some reason, Psyonix decides it's best to pair you up with a teammate who suffers from blindness and was born without hands. But that's okay, we've all been there. But then you reach that next rank and it almost all feels worth it. So what happens when you reach the top? For me, I got to Grand Champ Season 7, 10, and 11. However, Season 11 is the first time that I got to Grand Champ and kept going. I solo queued almost all my matches, I got to my peak MMR of roughly 1600, and I felt like I had finally reached the big leagues. Finally made it to the top of a game that I had roughly put 3,000 hours of time into. So when Season 12 rolled around, you'd think I'd be ready to crush some Champ 3s and get my place back in Grand Champ. But that's where you'd be wrong. Now, I know this isn't the same for everyone. A lot of people reach Grand Champ and they just feel motivated to keep going. But for me, I got to Grand Champ and that was it. There was no next rank. People seemed to care more than ever if a match was lost because I was doing some freestyling shit that I probably shouldn't have been doing in ranked. And I might be out of the loop on this one, but it just felt like there was nothing more to go for. But why quit ranked for Season 12? I hadn't reached the top rank for that season, so now I had something to go for. Well, when Season 12 came around, so did the rewards for Season 11. Yippee. All this time I put into grinding Rocket League, and I got boost. Not a very good looking boost at that. I just didn't feel like the reward was worth the time I had put into in order to get Grand Champ. And I felt that way every time I hit Grand Champ, Season 7, 10, and 11. Another reason is that once you hit the top rank, at least for me, the feeling of losing a match outweighed the feeling of victory after winning a match. I would win a match and just go on to the next one like it was nothing, but if we'd lost a match, I'd have this feeling that I either threw or my teammate was garbage, or some other number of reasons as to why we lost. And losing a match meant that I was one step closer to falling out of Grand Champ. I had nothing to go for, so wins only helped me accomplish staying in the rank that I was in, which is the same result as not playing ranked. You stay in the rank you're in. It just sort of felt endless and that I had no goal, and it would continue, with the same standard maps and the same basic rotation until one person on your team or the other team made a mistake and you could capitalize off of it. Whoever does that the most wins, and rinse and repeat. So for all of Season 12, I played casual. And believe it or not, I learned a lot from it. I learned how to love Rocket League again. I wasn't taking every match so serious because I was just having fun. There was no set goal to go for, so I made my own goals. Like learning how to breezy flick and then pulling it off in a game. Or learning how to get double flip resets consistently. I had the freedom to make these risky plays because it didn't matter to my teammate if I won or lost. I think people stress way too much about car soccer. I mean, I get it. People are passionate about things they put time into, but some of the toxicity I've seen in this game just doesn't make sense to me. It's car soccer. But with playing casual for a whole season, it didn't help me out much the next season, because I went and played ranked for Season 13, and I had definitely lost some of my rotational skills. But I knew how to breezy flick, sort of. Okay, well, I do know how to get double resets pretty consistently now. So there's that. I feel like there are a ton of things Psyonix could do to keep Rocket League from feeling stale, and to keep players motivated into playing ranked every season. Adding new modes would be huge, and especially adding limited ranked modes per season. For example, they could add volleyball or boomer mode 1v1s for an entire season, and then we never see that again. It would give players, especially Grand Champs, a reason to grind those limited modes, because getting a volleyball Grand Champ title, for example, would be special for that season only. Now, a lot of people do like standard Rocket League. I'm one of those people. I don't like any of the mixed modes, personally. So adding new maps to the game would make it feel much more fresh. In one of FLuuMP's recent videos, he asked streamers what one thing they would change about Rocket League. And at one point, Dareyck said 3v3 non-standard maps.
They should have trashed 1s and 2s and the ability to play like Wasteland and old Neo Tokyo and things like that. But in 3v3, I think with the skill level that it is now, I think it would be dope to watch really good players play on different maps from time to time.
To go off that, I think having specific maps for specific modes would be super fun. A wider yet shorter map for 2v2s could be great. A narrower map for 1v1s would be awesome. They could change up boost pad positions. They could have some on the ceiling or some in the air. And it would just make every match feel slightly different than just a reskin of the standard map, and keep things feeling fresh. I also think a huge thing that would help competitive Rocket League and casual Rocket League would be a looking for teammate browser with tags based on your playstyle. If you're someone that plays relaxed, or uses comms, or freestyles, or is trying to get to the next rank, so you want a more serious teammate, you could put those tags and match up with players that you want to play with. I feel like it'd be a great way to match up players rather than just randomly getting a teammate that might be good, might be bad. And one last huge thing that I think would help all players would be an avoid teammate system. If there's someone that you match up with who's toxic or throwing matches, or you just simply don't play well with them, we should be able to avoid those teammates. I feel like this would be better for everyone and just be overall a more enjoyable experience. So, coming from someone who hasn't played ranked for a whole season and almost 2 seasons, I just don't feel like I've missed out on anything. I've actually been wanting to play Rocket League more than in the past seasons when I've grinded ranked. I think this is because Psyonix hasn't done much with their game since Dropshot was added. That's the biggest update I can remember besides some holiday events, some limited timed modes, the tournament update, and the item shop. I know Epic bought Psyonix, and they've been pretty quiet ever since, so I have high hopes that something big is in the works. But to Psyonix, listen to the content creators, listen to the pros, and listen to the general player base. Rocket League is a great game, but I think there's so much that can be added that can make it be even better. And please, please stop giving me blind teammates. I don't even mind them not having hands. They can use their feet.